Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to our advanced trainings on Thursday. My name is Petra, if you're new to our trainings. I do trainings now every second Thursday of the month. Well, every second Thursday, so 2 times per month, alongside my beautiful team, Christy. Good morning. Where are you, Roberta? Would love to know. What is it? Europe, probably. Good day, night, evening. I love this. I will pop the Facebook group because I know everybody's asking me and then sending me private messages. So I'm trying to avoid losing my time. So I'm going to pop the link to the Facebook group for all the recordings, all the questions you have after or for the trainings or anything else you want to ask in the group that you need support with. I'm just going to pop it into the Zoom chat. So here you go. So you can join if you want to. If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. Recordings are always posted either on Healy APAC YouTube channel or my YouTube channel, as well as in the Facebook group. So you have plenty of options to look at the trainings. You're not limited. Yeah. So make sure that you are organized, what works for you. Romania, I have Romanian friends. Love them to bits. Okay, perfect. So welcome to our advanced training today. We are looking at a new database today. So it is a plant power database that some of you have tested. And of course, I always like to know your experiences. I've been testing it for a while now, and I wanted to give you a bit of a different approach. I was looking at so many different approaches of how can I approach this so I can give you some deep insights. And unfortunately, there is more than 500 plants in that database. So you are not getting a guidebook from me, because there's too much to do and not enough time to do it. But let me start sharing so we have that. Before we go into anything, let me know if you can see my slides. So all you can have your things sorted. So before we go into any translations, disclaimers, as always, make sure that this information is only for the educational purposes. Make sure you take responsibility for yourself, for your body, for your health. If you do need to, advise your GP or any other practitioner, please do. Our beautiful devices, Healy and Mag Healy, are not intended to cure, treat, mitigate, diagnose, or prevent any disease or medical condition. So make sure that you use them in alignment with yourself in your personal decisions. So with all that covered, for all of you that need translations, we do have Wordly still, so you can scan the QR code or you can go on to the page below the QR code, or you can download the app and just choose the language you would like to translate to, and then you will see the translation on your app while I speak in English. So that's the housekeeping, and now we're going to do the happy part. Yeah, so the plant-based the plant power database, it's a new database. It was released in January. Some of you have been testing it last year, but it's actually really powerful database. I know I've got some messages and some questions about, what do I do with all these databases? How do I approach it? Every single database that you have in your Healy, please, 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 do not overwhelm yourself just because you have them. Yeah, make sure that you test something and you really test it for a month or 2 or 3 and play with it. Don't just go scanning yourself all over the place and vibrating everything just because you think you need to do everything. Please don't. So make sure that you check the databases that you have, vibrate them for yourself, and really dive deeper into not only the affirmations that are there, but I'm going to show you something else today that will empower you on your journey to actually empower you on your journey to actually start understanding your body on so many different levels. As you know, I always like to give you a different approach, a deeper approach, so you can actually start really exploring yourself, understanding your perception, understanding your emotions, understanding how you live, the state of being that you're in. And because the state of being is reflecting your environment and what you see in the world. Yeah, it's like a mirror. So it's a really important thing for your personal growth, self-understanding, as well as we know plants, they have a beautiful and sacred space and place in so many cultures in the world, and have been used for millennia. Yeah. And that's why we live with them nonstop. And it's they're a really important part of our lives. So before we dive into all the details, I would love to know, as always, because I'm curious and I want to play and I want to get to know you. I would love to know, what do you love about plants the most? So if you're using plants already for any of part of your healing journey or anything in your life, like we had essential oils, for example, what do you love the most about them? So pop in the chat. You don't have to write the novel, but maybe top one or top three things that you love about plants in your life, and how do you use them, or what do you use them for? Fragrance, okay, so aromatherapy. Leaves, okay, is it leaves for a shade or leaves for teas? Walk around them makes me, oh, I love that. Yes, forest bathing, and just watching the greenery. I love that. The shift in energy, mood, and fragrance. Correct. That is a beautiful. It's really important to understand that live plants are conscious. Yeah. So if you never experienced a hug from a tree or a community of trees, they're the most beautiful, compassionate beings I've ever experienced, and so gentle. And they emit negative ions, which are really important for our stress levels, meaning to lower our stress levels. Health, yeah. So what do you mean, Pretty? Health in a way of plants healing your body, or health in a way of going out to nature to be like spiritual healing? They are innocent living organisms. Well, sometimes they can be playful, yeah, and sometimes they can be cheeky as well. That's my experience, I'm just saying. But don't mind me. Plants have a calming effect on mind. Yes, they live in a different dimension, and they live in a slower dimension, and they have this amazing, beautiful consciousness that we have not yet tapped into. Medicine, yeah, so plant medicine. They're beautiful smell and just make me feel good. I like that. Medicine, variety of colors and shapes, and its medicine value, beautiful. I love how the sun is reflective in their leaves and their flowers and everything that they produce and everything that they are. Sitting near the plants and enjoying the calmness and hugging the tree. I love that too. Okay, useful for human life. Okay, interesting. We're going to look at that one. Watch them grow and bloom. Yes, they are. Have you ever watched? I have a magnolia tree in my backyard, and I watch my magnolia bloom every year. And there's this beautiful energy that she emits every single time before she starts opening up the flowers. And the flowers then emit this beautiful fragrance, and she becomes this beautiful woman. Yeah, and her energy is completely transformed. And it's so beautiful to see the seasons of a tree for me. Useful, okay, watch them grow and bloom, make me feel more relaxed just by looking at their nice green color. Okay. Plants just don't have just green colors. You can use a lot of other things as well. It impressed me the fact that they feel the sun and follow it. Yes. So they live for the sun, but they also live in communities and they communicate. They have a language. And they communicate through frequency and through mycelium, which is, the mushroom network underneath the ground. And trees will protect, even if a tree falls and it doesn't have its roots anymore, other trees will actually feed it in order to keep it alive. They don't speak but listen everything from. They do communicate. They have a different language, so they communicate through frequency and temperature. That's my experience. But the research also shows that they communicate through mycelium, and they are quite intelligent, and they also feel. So they can feel. For example, there was a research done on a plant, and this guy, that he had this plant at his apartment, and then he had to go and they tested it. So they tested the plant while he was away, and when he was feeling stress, the plant was feeling stress. So the plant actually attached to humans as well, like animals. So when this guy was on the plane and he had a really stressful time, the plant was actually responding with the same signals as that guy on the plane. Air purifier. Oh yeah, you mean like cleaning the air, because of course, plants utilize the carbon dioxide that we, expel out of our body and clean everything around us. The only thing we need to be aware of around plants is not to have them in our bedrooms during the night, because plants actually emit CO2 during the night, and they actually absorb CO2 during the day and emit oxygen. So we need to be really aware of what plants we have around when we sleep. Magnolia. I love her. I love my plants. I talk to my plants. People think to me I'm crazy, but I have a huge garden, and I talk to my raspberries. I talk to my plants. I have a mini jungle. I have lizards, blue-tongued lizards. I have birds. They literally, my backyard is a training ground for birds, teaching the young ones how to hunt the grasshoppers. So I talk to my plants all the time, and I really love them. Reminds Michael Jackson's Earth. Yes, I love that too. It's a connection. Flowers. Yes. So there's so much more to plants that we can imagine. Yeah. So when we look at what plants can give us, the first thing that we can connect to is the plant medicine. So plants have been used for medicinal purposes for eons. Yeah. Since we literally lived on Earth, and probably before. And the definition of plant medicine is, it's known as a herbal medicine or a botanical medicine. So it actually refers to the use of plants or plant parts for medicinal purposes. And this practice is literally been around since prehistoric times, like since we've known to be alive. And it involves using plant seeds, berries, roots, leaves, bark, or flowers to treat diseases, maintain health, and enhance overall well-being. So what are the key aspects of plant medicine? And why are we so drawn to it? Why is this such an important thing in our lives? Because no matter what we do, we're surrounded with plants. And we live in a community with them. And sometimes we respect them, but majority of times we don't. And we kind of forgotten the old practices of understanding that each plant has a story and each plant has a purpose. And also, it's there to tell us something. So let's look at some key aspects of the plant medicine and why are we so drawn to it. And first of all, it is quite widespread in its use. So if we look at the Health World Organization data, WHO actually estimates that about 80% of people worldwide rely on herbal medicine from some part of their primary health care. So no matter what, if we are, completely immersed into the Western medicine, majority, 80% of people still use plants as the first SOS. They have some kind of herbs at home. They have some kind of plant medicine support before they go to Western medicine, which is great to hear, in my view. But I still feel that it's really important to understand that we underestimate the plants themselves, and we've forgotten the indigenous way to actually honor them and use them and utilize them for our health. Plants and plant medicine also has diverse applications. That's why we are so drawn to them, because they have so many different applications in a way of, they can be administered in various forms. Not just, eating the leaves. They can be put into pills, like squeeze them together, like herbs squeezed together. They can be in powders, liquid extracts, so we can make teas out of them, gels, lotions, creams. And now we also have them in frequencies. So they are so widely spread in a way that we can utilize them for so many things in so many different ways. And they help us no matter what. They also have a traditional and modern use. So they are adaptable. Plants are adaptable in so many ways. So when we look at the plant medicine, plants have been used in traditional practices for millennia, right? So indigenous people have used them. They have sacred plants to use, specific plants for certain things, and they know the stories of them. And they also play a huge role in modern medicine. I don't know if you understand or know about this, but approximately 1/4 of pharmaceutical drugs, like aspirin, are actually derived from botanicals. So what they do is they extract a specific element out of the plants, because plants have this amazing property of combining multiple different molecules together in a coherent environment. All of those different elements work together in such a marvelous and amazing way that scientists can't figure out how that is possible. But they can extract certain elements out of it, expand it, and make aspirin out of it. Yeah? So, but they have so many beautiful uses throughout centuries. Also, when we look at plant medicine, majority of people think, because it's plants and it's herbs, it's completely safe. Let's put this out there on the table. Plants need to be respected. So we need to understand that although plants are natural, if we're looking at the physical form, that doesn't mean that they're actually safe for humans, all of them. We need to understand that only a fraction of the plants on the earth is actually non-toxic to the human or animals. Yeah, everything else is also toxic. So we need to be really aware of what mushroom to pick, yeah, or what leaves to do, or what berries to actually eat. So we need to be cautious when we're using the practice of herbal medicine or plant medicine. And because of that, plants demand respect. And that's no different when we're using it in a frequency form. Although the plants that are used in the database that we have are all beneficial plants and good for the body, they still have an entity, a respect and honor, and a story to tell. So I really want to invite you with this new database into exploring that story. So let's look at the power of plants themselves. So plants exhibit diverse medicinal properties, and that's why we love them, because they help us so much. And those include, for example, anti-inflammatory effects. So many herbs, like turmeric, have potent anti-inflammatory properties. Seriously. And we want to use them, right? And for example, plants also have antimicrobial actions. So for example, garlic demonstrates antibiotic and antiviral properties. And the same, for example, is essential oil of oregano or herbs like oregano and thyme. They all have antimicrobial and antiviral and antibacterial properties. They also support our immune system, which is the most important part of our defense. For example, eucalyptus is known to stimulate the immune system, and it supports to activate the body to extract all the toxins and help the protection that we need. They also support the cardiovascular benefits, of our body, our heart. For example, hawthorn is a beautiful herb that it's used to treat various heart-related conditions. So we need to understand that some herbs and plants mimic also our bodies, and they support our bodies in similar ways. Plants were given for healing and their purpose is for healing, as well as for healing spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical part of our body. Also, pain relief. Feverfew is a plant that has been used to alleviate migraines and menstrual cramps. And there's other herbs that are out there, and other plants in a herbal form that actually support different elements and different systems of the body. And they are powerful. So we need to really, really honor them and respect them and understand the story. Plants have also been considered sacred in many, many cultures around the world and religions. And probably a lot of you here know that because you grew up with that. And they've been considered sacred for the profound symbolic, spiritual, and practical significance. Oh my God, I can't even speak today. Based on their different aspects. So, for example, some plants connect to the deities in certain religions, and they connect with specific gods. People connect them to those, and they actually give them this beautiful power and a space for them to actually share the story. I mean, plants sharing the story. They also connect to representation of life and renewal. Plants do renew our bodies. Their purpose is to heal and regenerate. And plants symbolize life, growth, and regeneration. And many cultures, they're mirroring the cyclical patterns of birth, growth, decay, and rebirth. It's a cycle of life that we live. And like seasons in certain countries in the world, they also signify that. And plants move with those seasons. And people have learned how to move with the plants, looking at how plants change. They literally, according to that, change their own lives and rituals as well. They're connected to spiritual and medicinal properties. Some plants are completely sacred. They have a really important role in certain cultures, and they possess spiritual and medicinal benefits. You probably heard, of Palo Santo or ayahuasca or all of those. Even sage, it's a really beautiful element. Some plants possess this beautiful, strong energy. They're used in rituals and ceremonies. Of course, indigenous cultures are really prone to that because they're using energy and the stories and the purpose of the plants. And of course, our environmental significance. So some plants are sacred because they're often viewed as essential components of our ecosystem, representing diversity, interdependence, and balance in natural world. Some of them are, protected because they are literally almost extinct. So we need to understand plants have a special place in our heart and in our lives. They also have a protection and purification properties, like sage, for example. And some plants literally are thought to give us protection against evil spirits, to clean our energy, and purify us of our thoughts and emotions that are drowning us in the contraction energy. And they also have a symbolic representation in mythology. Like plants feature prominently in various mythology stories and in history, and often embodying important cultural values or cosmic principles. Like my country has a leaf of a tree. I don't even know how it's actually called in English. As a national tree. So, and that tree is actually really beautiful because you can use probably everything of the tree. And it smells delicious. You can do teas, you can make herbs, you can make a lot of it out of it. And it's really beautiful for the heart. It's a heart, it has the leaf in the shape of a heart. And it's a really beautiful component to our country and the residents in our country. So we have connections to plants and different plants throughout life, you know, through different cultures. And you probably have connections to different plants that you're drawn to in different seasons of your life. I don't know if you've noticed that, but plants tend to call you like animal spirits. They kind of communicate with you through a different realm. So when we look at this plant power database, so why is that such an important thing when we're looking at it in a frequency form? Because now we can access more than 500 different plants in their frequency and in their respective information patterns within this database. We can help and support our body based on the story and the energetic imprint that these plants provide us. And we don't have to worry that this will physically affect our body. You know, are we drinking too much of it? Are we doing the tea? Are we not doing? How is this going to affect our digestion? But it is actually supporting us in a more gentle way, shifting our body out of certain stagnation that we are living in. And they represent some beautiful patterns that we can look at, because those patterns where we are stuck in are actually influencing our environment and how we feel about the environment that we live in. So how do we do this? So we find the plant power database in our blue Healy Resonance app. Yeah. So the blue wave app. It contains, I think right now it says 553 different plants from all over the world. And it contains, you know, from essential oils to flower and tree essences. And they are supposed to be there for harmony of the body, mind, and soul. So these are nurturing and supporting elements, databases for supporting all three levels of your body. And also every single plant in this database contains the respective information patterns of the energetic field of that plant with connected affirmations. So we're going to look at that. Yeah, I'm not going to do a live scan today because the 553 I've noticed it takes a while before it scans. So I actually did a scan, and I'm actually going to give you a presentation of a client, and I'm going to give you a whole scan. I'm going to take you through it. So we're going to look at all the affirmations, and I'm going to give you insights into those plants, and I'm going to then show you how you can actually do that for yourself, so you can actually go deeper into each plant and then extract the patterns that are coming up from that scan, so you can have a deeper insight of what's really going on for yourself. So how do we do a scan? If you've never done a scan before, this is how we approach it. But of course, for those of you who are doing the scans already, you already know that. Make sure that you have a clear positive in already done situation intention. Yeah? Like it already happened. Your intention needs to be clear, and your emotions connected to that intention need to be really, really felt in the body, in every cell of the body. If you feel like you're not there, that you only can repeat the intention in your head and not really feel it in the body, create an intention, set it out, just say, this is what I want, and then detach. Completely leave it alone. You can even go away from, you can put your phone and your Healy, a bit away from yourself and just don't think about it. Yeah, completely let it go. So the scan will show you exactly what's in the field. Yeah, so you can actually get the feedback for yourself. Then, of course, you do the analysis in the plant power database, which is in the purple circle. I'll show you later on the phone so you can actually see where it is. And then when the analysis comes up, it shows you top 5 plants that are in the highest resonance for you right now, in this moment. Ideally, what I would love you to do is actually dedicate to this scan for at least a month. So maybe scan every week and see the patterns that arise, and actually journal on things and actually see what is coming out as, the main point of what needs to be worked on. But I would really love you to actually work with these patterns. So don't just scan yourself and then vibrate. You need to bring things into the conscious level. So reading through the analysis list is really important. And with those top 5 plants and their association affirmations or intentions of what they are, you need to take a look at that and then see how that relates to your life. If you want to do a deep dive, I'm going to give you an AI prompt and I'm going to show you how you can do this really simply. Yeah. And you can utilize free tools to actually go deeper, because this is a really big database and it's really hard to put it all together. And these plants have so many different aspects, and it really depends on how they relate to your life specifically. So you can dive deeper, pull out patterns, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then, of course, reflect. Use the reflection, meditate on things, and utilize that while you're vibrating throughout the week. So if you're using a week scans or if you're using, fortnightly scans, it's your choice what you want to do and how far you want to take it and what works for you, but that's perfectly fine. So whatever it is, make sure that you reflect on it and then you meditate on it, because you need to have a connection with the plant. The plant has a story for you. It's there to actually show you something. Because if you don't have a connection with that, it's going to be really interesting and harder for you to understand what the message is. Okay, so that's the basics. So let's go and look at the analysis. So this is one of my clients, and I wanted to give you this because it was a really interesting pattern, and I wanted to pull it together so you can see what comes out. So for those of you who have no idea what these plants are, I don't even know how to pronounce them. I will be honest, yeah? But there's so many tools that you could use to actually go deeper into these things. So this is a proper scan from the top to bottom. So the highest relevance for this person was this flower. It's carol root flower. And the affirmation that came with it was, I no longer fear making mistakes and do not feel the need to control everything. I now feel courage and confidence in stepping forward, and I am excited to create new things for myself. You could think, okay, are you afraid of something? Or, are you in transition? Yeah. So those things can come up, but on the right side, I gave you some insights that when I've used AI, these came up, and I'm going to show you later on how to do that. So for this flower specifically, the symbolism, energy, and connection came up. And symbolism for this is growth, resilience, and transformation, which makes complete sense. The energy of the flower, it's literally saying root-based strength. So fear is connected to the survival instincts, so to the root chakra. So this person actually needs more grounding, regeneration, because obviously fear is taking a lot of energy out of this person. And the connection to this flower is to help clear old cycles and support new beginnings. So my question to this person would be, are you in transition? Are you literally moving through a transformation? Is something happening for you that is making you grow and that you feel like you're not really rooted in your body? So this is the highest one that came up, and this is kind of how you can actually move through it. and you can go and have deeper insights. And the same one was, the next one was 69%. So this means just how relevant it is right now in life. And desired state means this is how the person needs to feel. Yeah, so something is in there that is actually disturbing the energy pattern, and this affirmation is saying this is what the ideal state of you is. So the next flower is the White Mountain Everlasting. I have no idea how to pronounce that one, the other one, the original name. But the affirmation is, I am free from self-imposed duties. So this could be people-pleasing. No one is irreplaceable. Yeah, so this could be holding on to certain things. Everything is guided by a good force. Letting go and surrendering has changed and enriched my life. So making sure that this person is rooted and grounded into their own self. But symbolism is longevity, endurance, and emotional clarity. So obviously there's something going on for this person that it's clouding the judgment. Either they are out of the body because they're people-pleasing, and they don't have clarity emotionally because they're attaching to certain things and they can't let go. And the energy, it actually helps in emotional healing and fostering a sense of inner peace. If somebody is out of the body and attaching to something outside of them, they will not have peace because they're not rooted in their own body, in their own self. And the connection to this flower supports persistence and emotional resilience. So obviously there's a transition going on. And we're going to look at the pattern. So this is the next two. It's expansion of perception in the senses. And it says sun energy, joy, and warmth. So expansion of perception also means if we are in contraction or something's out of balance, we need more joy, love, and warmth, love out in the body in order to actually expand. And it encourages optimism. So somebody's in the contractive space, yeah? And again, helps breaks through stagnation, because when we are in contraction, we have a stagnant energy. So this makes sense completely. And then the fourth one was, and you see how everything is over 50%? So this was really relevant for this person. Yeah, this was something going on in that moment. I'm just letting you know what it was. Something was going on in that moment for that person. And they were really going through some old patterns, like in a vortex of emotions. And this came up, yeah, when we were looking at the scans. So it says open, calm, and serene communication. So there was a communication blockage that was too agitated, and this person was attaching. We're looking at before, yeah, so those patterns before. They were not grounded. They were out of body, trying to please. Yeah, they didn't have enough good boundaries. It was draining them. There was not enough emotional clarity. And this one is open, calm, and serene communication. And it's, again, pointing to transformation, divine connection. So when we are out of body, we are not connected to our divine, because we are moving ourselves from ourselves, away from the center. And it's helping to assist in self-expression, meaning that we can be calm and centered and express what we're feeling, so we can speak our truth. So this is a really important thing, because that's exactly what the pattern was for this person. So it's really, really relevant. And the last one was, I can understand my visions and dreams and find access to my inner world. It gives us clarity, because if we are out of body, we can't have clarity. We don't have intuition. We can't access our inner world. We can't understand who we are, and we don't know what's going on in that situation. And of course, it encourages insight, clarity, and deeper perception. So looking at it a wider picture, not it from the contraction space. So you can do this, yeah, and you can take all these patterns and all these plants, and of course patterns presenting, but just plants, and pop it into an AI, literally ChatGPT, yeah, which is for free. And I actually gave you a prompt. I'm going to give this prompt to you in the Facebook group, so you can just copy paste it. And you can just pop your 5 plants that come up, yeah. If you don't know how to copy the plants, I can show you. I'll share my screen and I'll show you. And then just pop them in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what we are asking an AI is we are telling them we received the next 5 plants. These are the plants that came up in my Healy plant power analysis. Please provide insights into their significance and find correlations between them or a pattern that is emerging for me right now from this scan. So I'm going to show you now what comes up. So I use this. I'm just going to share the other screen. Oh, where are you? Where are you, my love? Okay. So I've popped this prompt into the ChatGPT. Yeah. I cleared it up for you. Yeah, I just literally type it in here. And it came up with all these insights that I shared with you for every specific plant. And the most amazing thing is it literally gives you emerging patterns, correlations. So what is happening for this person was literally transformation and renewal, emotional resilience and grounding, creative expansion and self-expression, clarity and vision. So those were the most important things to look at. And it gives you also which flowers are connected and how to use them. So this suggests that a phase of personal transformation where you're clearing old patterns and aligning with something higher. So it literally tells you what is going on for you, and you can find related patterns for you in your life. So you can have reflections, and it puts it in a simple term. So you don't have to go and think about, oh, what does that mean? So you can really analyze these things for yourself and see what patterns emerge. And also it gives you an overall message of the scan, which is literally bullet points of what you need to focus on. So this is really simple to use and work with. And I will copy paste this for you so you can actually go in depth. And this is something you can do on your own. Yeah, if you don't know where to find ChatGPT, I will send you the link and you can just create an account. It's free. And you can just ask those questions in there. And you can actually do this for a month for you to actually, let me just go back. For you to go deeper, oh, where are you? Here. For you to go deeper into the story of the plant. You can even ask ChatGPT if you want to, what is this plant trying to tell me? What's the story of the plant if you want to go there? Or the best version would be to actually go in meditation while you reflect on all of this and actually just ask, what are these plants? Which one of those plants is resonating with me the most? And what is this plant trying to tell me? And what is the most important thing that I need to focus on? And just go into that meditation. Meditation can be just sitting in nature and looking at the tree. Yeah, you don't have to meditate like a Buddha or a monk. Yeah, you can go for a run, you can go for a walk, you can, as long as you still your mind, whatever works for you. And just ask a question and wait for the answer. And this will actually not only give you a really good insight, strengthening your intuition, it will give you insight into yourself. It will give you a connection to plants. And if some of those plants you have and come up, like the other day I did a scan for a lady, and chives came up. And she literally said, I've been eating chives for the last month. I never liked chives, but I was just eating chives. And I was like, great. Obviously, you were drawn to it. Your body was drawn to it. And it's really important to look at those things as well and bring them into your life on a physical level if some of those things that you have at home and you really resonate with that. But that's kind of what I really wanted to show you, because the affirmations itself, sometimes the frequencies are wider at the back. Their own affirmations in here, they sometimes give us like a narrow part of that plant. But in order to actually look at what really is going on for us and what patterns are emerging for us, so we can actually start shifting them and seeing them in a new light, in a way that we can actually connect to ourselves and find solutions in order to shift that ability, shift that frequency, shift that mindset pattern, shift that emotion that is literally irritating our energy and our environment, because our environment is just a reflection of how we feel inside, even if we're consciously feeling it or subconsciously. Okay, I think I'm done for today. Any questions? And of course, I will pop this in the Facebook group so you can have all of that. Okay, let me see if there's anything in the chat. Otherwise, you can pop your hands up if you would like to. Holy basil. I love holy basil. Tulsi is amazing. I drink it a lot. Is it true plants grow to heal the soil? Yes, correct. So plants do grow to heal the soils, especially dandelion. If you ever heard of dandelion, here in Australia, they kill it all the time, which is, I don't get it, because in Europe, we eat it all the time because the best salad ever. The flowers, you can actually bake them and make tea out of them. You can make great juices out of them. You can utilize every part of dandelion. And dandelion is actually one of the really beautiful plants, and it only grows where the soil is lacking nutrients. So if you see dandelion, that means the soil is actually lacking nutrients, because dandelion is actually putting nutrients back into the soil, making it richer and better, and that's why it grows there. So we don't have a lot of knowledge and wisdom around plants, and we think we need to kill everything, unfortunately. And I was fortunate enough to learn a lot about plants since I was a little girl. My father and my mother actually taught me how to pick plants, how to dry them, how to, what to use them for. And I grew up with plant medicine since I was a little girl. And I'm really honored to have that connection with plants. But yes, they do grow in specific areas, especially, for example, if you have a garden, never put tomatoes and cucumbers in the same pot or in the same area, because they don't like each other. But do please put cucumbers and radishes together, or tomato and basil. So we have companion planting as well, which means that they love each other. Certain plants love each other. So for me in the garden, when I grow stuff, I just leave plants to choose their own place. I just put scraps out, into the soil, and plants decide where they want to bloom and grow. And I have plants, they love each other, they grow all over each other, and I have a lot of fruits. And if I want to control them and pop them in pots and I need to organize them, everything will go. So they love each other the way that they are. So they connect to each other in a special way. So we need to honor that as well. Okay, neem tree. Yes, there's a lot of plants that can be used 100%. Perfect. My professional Healy version do not have power of plant. No. So power plant is available as a purchase. So it was released in January. You can purchase it as an extra module in your Healy resonance database. It's not for free. I don't think there's a membership module available right now. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's one-time purchase. And of course, the prices are different in every country, so you need to look at your website. Please do drink water with every analysis and every scan and every vibration you do. Make sure that you drink as much water as you can, and please add salt. And not just any salt, Celtic salt. Yeah? So please do not use ionized salt or table salt. If you can't, use anything else, I would like to avoid pink salt because it's high in heavy metals. So Celtic salt, which is completely clear sea salt, those are the best ones to use because it's high in minerals. But yes, please do drink water. You can even drink coconut water, just not added sugar or anything, like non-sweetened, just natural coconut water, because it's high in electrolytes, because it has minerals in there. And you need minerals in order to convert electricity properly. Yes, it is a machine learning platform. Please do not put any personal information in there. Yeah, so you can use it as, be mindful. This is not just giving power away. Yeah, this is a tool like anything else. I'm not saying you need to put everything else in there and just give it everything. It is a machine. It's like Zoom. It's like computers. It's like a phone. Yeah, so it's like a browser. So when you put things into a browser, they track you as well. Just letting you know, just so you're aware of that. You need to be aware and have a knowledge of what you're using and how you're using it. But it will save you time, and you can learn a lot from it, because it literally combines the knowledge. And I'm not saying that that's the only way to do it, but you can have a conversation of brainstorming and see your thoughts coming back. And it's a really interesting concept. Yes, some people are afraid of it. If you don't like it, don't go for it. But I'm just saying that there is an option and there is a tool that you can use. Of course it will come up, because it's learning. It will come up with a new answer. It will shift things. But you need to check again. Discernment and intuition. This is what I also like to tell you every single time. You can't put your power away to others. You need to start learning how to discern for yourself. That's why meditation comes in. So you need to start asking questions for yourself and actually discerning what's right for you. You can gather as much knowledge as you want, but it's not going to become wisdom until you actually empower yourself and start discerning for yourself what works for you and what doesn't. That's where intuition comes in. So you can buy the plants if you want to. If so, how, where would we source them, or do we just? I would just vibrate them, and then, as I said, if something comes up like chives or basil, yeah, that you have and you are drawn to it, then of course eat it. Yeah, if of course those are things that you normally eat, it's herbs. Yeah, but if it's something that's ayahuasca come up, yeah, in the plants, then I don't know, like if you don't want to go there, I wouldn't go there, because ingesting ayahuasca and vibrating ayahuasca are two completely different things. Yeah, just let's be clear on that. Because the frequency itself holds the imprint of that plant, not the physical properties of the plant. It actually just it informs your field in order to shift certain patterns and gives you insight, but it does not physically impact your body like the physical plant would. That's why the frequencies are safer in that way, because you can actually have the support of those plants that it might be a completely different experience if you would ingest them physically or use them on a body. Yeah. I have a question. Which program is for liver disease? So today we are focusing only on the topic for today. So questions only for the topic of the day. If you have any other questions, pop them into the Facebook group if you want to. Would you add the local plants picture as a symbol in a chakra Healy application? For local animals and people, if they grow to heal the soul, it would be good for local people and animals. Okay, so if I understand you correctly, Sonia, you are trying to vibrate a specific plant to heal the soil, if that's what I'm understanding. Okay, so we people like to, let's say, people's ego likes to interrupt divine process. So let's look at that plants also have a consciousness. They are conscious beings. And they also know where to plant themselves. They will plant themselves where they need to. If you feel like you want to, regenerate your own soil, I would encourage you to, in your backyard or whatever you are, the first thing that needs to happen is the communication pathway, which is mycelium, before you add any other plants. So if we are just understanding parts of the story, we sometimes don't see the whole picture. And then we want to fix one thing instead of looking at the wider picture. That happens as well when we want to help people. Yeah. So when we want to push them and we try to change them for the things that we think that would be best for them. So be mindful of these things, because for the things that we want to so badly change for someone, we can also be interrupting their own process of healing, because they need to go through certain things. although we might be hurting by seeing them, it's not about them, it's then about the hurt within us and how we heal that. And it's the same with plants. So if we think we need to force certain things into certain areas or vibrate certain plants to certain areas, I would ask and discern, is that something that's beneficial for the whole, or is it because I want to do it because I think it's best? That's the first thing. The second thing, if you get the response that you do, that's important, then yes, you can actually put a photo of a flower, or ideally you would probably want to put a photo of the area that you want to regenerate. Yeah, so then you can scan that area and then vibrate those plants back to that area, because then we are healing energetically and allowing the biological systems to naturally come into place. Yeah, because Healy works on a quantum field. Hope this answers your question. But would you change the water with the plant program? How would you do that? You mean like what water? I'm confused now. Do you have any? Okay. Sydney would be here till mid-April. Would like to meet you. Would like to. Okay. I'm not in Sydney, so unfortunately I can't meet you. But if anybody wants to meet me, like my time is really, really narrow, so I need to have like a lot of advance preparation in order to organize my time. But yes, I have met with some people that came to Australia, of course. Okay, I want to add the local plant frequencies as a therapy to animals. How can I collect the frequency? A picture in chakra program as a net simplification. So, okay, Sonia, can you unmute yourself because I don't understand you? Can you raise your hand so I can then ask you to unmute? And then I can see what you're really asking. Okay. Go for it. Wait, you're not unmuted, beautiful. You need to unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. So sorry. Yeah,
I can hear you now.
there's so many questions in Healy, and so many ways to help people.
Yep.
Your presentation was really beautiful. Thank you very much. I do want to know, like, if I because there's this theory that the plants grow to heal the soil. I have these thoughts that maybe the the same way it can heal the local people, the same that they say try to eat the local plants, the local agriculture, because that's what your body is going to need most, because that's what your body is used to. No, if we could make a picture of, that's how I was thinking to do it, but I would like you to tell me what you think how to do it. I was thinking I'll make a picture thinking about that plants treat the soil they grow in. I'll go to my local, I live in the Mediterranean, so I'll do a picture of my plants, the romero, the like just local plants, and then I would like to put that frequency into my water to drink it, for example, or to give it to drink to my animals. How would
Okay.
I do that? And then I was thinking, well, I'll make a picture, I'll put it into adding symbol in the chakras, and then I'll do the chakra for my animals. That would be one way that I thought. Another way would be I will treat the water, my glass of water, like if it was a person, and then the plants that come out with your program, with the plant program, would feed the water, and then I can drink the water. The second part, I'm not that sure, and I wanted to know what would you suggest to do to be able to add the frequencies of my local plants into the water to be able to be drink.
Okay. There's a really complex situation. Okay. So, first of all, with the plant database, right? You scan yourself or anyone else that you put in as a person, group, animal, other. yeah, as an entity within the Healy. So you can then scan that person with different databases and see what resonates with that thing. You can either do other, and you can put a chair in there if you want to. I'm just giving you kind of a conversation, but it's not like you can add frequency. So you're using the new app because the old blue app doesn't work anymore, right? You're using the new blue app, Sonia.
Yes, I'm using the new app. Yeah.
Okay, so with the old blue app, we had a different option, but so there's a few parts. So if you want to do application of your local plants, specific plants, the frequency of those plants applied to you, yeah, there is a way to put frequency into the blue app, into the list of frequencies in a coaching on aura, yeah. So we don't have, like in an old app you could have changed the intention, but that's fine because you then know what is in there. But there is a way to put frequency of supplements, of whatever you want to, yeah, into a list of frequencies for you or for a specific animal if you want to, yeah, like you were saying before. But then depends on, you can, and then you can see, you can apply those frequency, and if you see that, the body is not receiving them, you don't actually know if you actually need those plants because you have not scanned yourself. So you can now just randomly apply frequency, but you don't know really if it's working for you or not. So the Healy, the positive side of Healy is that when you have a database, you can scan yourself and you can see what your body really needs, and you only get what you really need. If you add frequency into a list of frequencies and apply that list to yourself, you will still get what you need, but you are not knowing what you actually need, if that makes sense. If you would like to apply to water, you don't actually have to. You can apply it just to yourself directly. If you would like to apply certain frequency, I don't know, to water and then water some plants for it or give it to your animal, but you can just vibrate that to an animal, so you don't have to put it into water. So you don't have to make it even harder for yourself. Because with Healy, you would need to then have to, if you want to, charge the water, it's not like Mag Healy, you would need to have metal straws, put the ear clips on to actually charge the water, to actually then have that imprint in there. But that imprint is not going to last forever. So you need to actually drink that really fast because the frequencies don't stay in the water for too long. Water holds the memory, but the frequency itself, it's not going to stay there for maybe, I don't know, 24 hours max, 12 hours, I would say before. But my question is, if you want to heal something and help to heal something, isn't that a better way to just put, I don't know, the person or land or your backyard, if you want to do the soil, into your Healy and actually scan the databases and see what they actually need and then vibrate that to them? That's just my question to you, if I understood you properly. Tell me, Sonia, is that what you wanted? Because I can't hear you.
Yes. Yes, this is what I wanted to hear. Yes, so many ways to apply frequencies.
So there is a way I can show you. I'll share. I don't know if I can show you on my phone. Let me share my phone. So this is like a short preview. I normally don't do trainings on this because people get things too complicated. That's what I'm saying. So so there's a way to, okay, so the plant database is in here. So it's in the pink. If you go into the pink one, what's happening with you? Oh, it's probably because it's not connected. Okay, let me connect this so I can show you then how you can add frequencies. Okay, so plant database, it's in the third one from the top in the purple. So if you go into analysis, it's on the bottom, plant power database 553. So you can scan yourself here. When you want to add frequencies, you can do aura. For example, I'll just do analysis so you can see just and then I can show you how to actually change it. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Or you can do this in coaching as well. I actually prefer coaching. So you can delete all of these. Oh, here we go. Yes. So you delete all of these entries. And then you can add so it's not going to disturb you, but you can leave them as well if you want to. Okay, and then you do add entry, and then you do desired state description, whatever you want to do. I don't know if you want to do, I don't know, dandelion, yeah, and then you do whatever you want to. And then on the bottom, you go select, no, that's fine. Where are you? Here. So you go where the symbol is, yeah, and then you have record vibration. So you click the record vibration, and you can actually have a dandelion. You know, I would use live dandelion, so you can go into your garden, and then you would put your Healy on the dandelion, click record vibration, and it will record the and you set an intention to record the full expression of this beautiful, healthy dandelion. And it's literally going to record the vibration of the dandelion. Yeah? So then when you have that dandelion in there, yeah, you have an entry in here. I don't know, I'm just going to pop this so you can see. Oh, whatever. What? I don't know how to spell anymore. Dandelion. Okay. So let's say I'm recording the vibration. I'm just going to do this now. So it's going to record the vibration. It's not going to be the right vibration. I'm just showing you. It's going to record the vibration of that dandelion. And then you save it. And you have an entry of dandelion. Yeah? And then you can vibrate that list. You can add whatever you want in here. And you can vibrate that to yourself. Yeah? So that's the only thing that I would do, that you can add frequencies. But for me, it's a question of, you know, what my question to you would be, what is the intention of this? And is the intention coming from a wider perspective, or just your ego perspectives of what you want to achieve? So my question to you, if you want to heal anything, like, you know, help to heal the earth, or help to heal, I don't know, yeah, whatever. My question is, have you done the work in order to actually discern, is this actually needed, or is you pushing the need to do that? Does that make sense, Sonia?
Yes, I understand very well what you mean. The beautiful of Healy always is, how does it know what it knows? And that's brilliant. And that's why recording the vibration in the local, knowing that the local nature takes care of us, was one of the things that I wanted to try and see the results. So maybe next time we see each other, I can tell you, well, yeah, I tried this local, and I find that the plants that are local, if I add them in symbols and then I run them to myself, they help me, no? I don't know. I will try it.
Try it out, of course. Yeah. Exploration is always amazing, right? It's just when we are doing things, sometimes our ego wants to do all of this. Make sure that you're asking yourself, is this really important? And is this the path of least resistance? Because because remember, you're working on a quantum field. So quantum field is wide, not narrow. So when we are actually looking at trying to add frequencies, I would like to maybe put out an invitation there to ask yourself, are you being invited to participate, or are you actually trying to fix? Yeah. So make sure that you have a clear intention around that, and then understand and try it out, experiment. Yeah. Because I'm just saying, because without the clear intention and just trying to fix, and you can try and explore, but if you don't have a clear intention, you won't have the feedback that you are expecting. So if you really want to have a good experimentation and exploration of this, make sure you have a clear intention, so you open up the doors to be invited into that space so you can participate. That's what I'm saying. So it's not a bad or good or, wrong or right. It's just the experimentation and how it's done. It's really important. But yes, you can add frequencies and you can experiment and you can do whatever you want. I've noticed, I've done the list of frequencies way back. I've experimented with rife a lot, different rife frequencies, and tones and music and things like that, solfeggio frequencies. And I found that, yes, certain periods of time my body really loved them, but then I actually realized that a lot of those frequencies are in Healy as well. So I was always drawn, when I was scanning myself, always drawn back into the programs of Healy, which is really interesting, because I love experimentation and I love doing all of the other stuff. But please do, without hesitation, experiment, add anything in there. So if you do add frequencies, just be mindful that you are setting an intention of what frequency you want to record. Yeah, so it is the full expansion of the full expression of that flower or supplement or whatever you're putting in there, and then experiment for a month to see what changes in the body.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me just stop sharing. Okay. Any other questions or missed anything? Okay, perfect. We're done. Cool. Awesome. So next week, Christy's back, and then I'm back in 2 weeks. If you have any questions, as I said, you are more than welcome to ask them in our Facebook group. The link is in the chat, in the Zoom chat. And make sure that you search the group for anything that you need before you ask questions. Yeah, because I really love you, but my time is limited and I really can't answer the same questions 3,000 times. So make sure that you do your due diligence. Search the group, look at the guides, look at the trainings, and then ask questions. Yeah, because we're getting bigger in the group now. So, I'm still a little tiny person, although I'm tall. I'm still a little tiny person, and it's really hard to manage about 1,500 people of you. And so I will always answer as soon as I can, and as much as I can, but at the same time, please help me out. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Okay, so if any questions, as I said, Facebook group, but otherwise, thank you for coming tonight. I am truly, truly grateful that you're here, and I'll be seeing you in 2 weeks. Have a beautiful week. Bye-bye.